I'm really, really excited to have Vivek, who is a good friend of mine and who is the founder of Pragli, to to have on this webinar. Um, Vivek is a brilliant coder, and he has been working on Pragli for a while. He loves remote work, and I think we got connected around our shared interest of remote work, and we've known each other for about a year now. So, Vivek, I would really appreciate if you can give a quick intro of yourself to our audience.
But yeah, just describing a little bit about myself. I'm Vivek. I'm a co-founder of Pragli, which is a virtual office for remote teams. And a little bit of background about myself. I grew up in a smaller agricultural city called Bakersfield, and then went up to Stanford for computer science. And yeah, I did that for 4 years. And then my final year, I built a company called Stacksquare, actually, and raised a couple $1 million for it from venture financing, and operated for a couple of years and sold it off. And basically, the company that acquired us to work remotely, because they were down in San Jose and we were up in San Francisco. And it's a 2 hour, well, in the worst traffic, 2 hours one way
Yeah.
to get there. So it's, anywhere from 3 to 4 hours round trip. So pretty miserable commute. So they
Yeah.
allowed us to work remotely.
Yeah.
Um, and it was fantastic. That was the first time I'd ever worked remotely. So I kind of came in with a preconceived notion about what it was. People who were working remotely didn't want to, work hard enough, all these preconceived notions, and then
Yeah.
tried it out, realized how awesome it is, and that remote workers often work a lot more than their peers inside of the office, and they have all this flexibility in how they can manage their day. But it's not without problems, which everybody is experiencing right now. And the two chief problems being, one, how do you combat loneliness inside of
Yeah.
these environments, and how do you feel closer as a team as a result of that? And then two is like, how do you just frictionlessly communicate with them? We
Yeah.
have the sort of primitives available of text chat and video chat.
Very clear, very well integrated deep into the product. So really great work there. Cheers to you and Doug.
Thank you.
I'm very curious about something. So you're a very small team at Pragli, right? But you guys have shipped a lot, like a lot. So how's your outlook towards productivity? Like how do you how do you keep
Mhm.
yourself productive enough to execute so much?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's a great question. I addressing the reasoning behind why it's just me and Doug is that when we started off with Pragli, we really wanted to keep it as small as possible, because we don't, because originally we wanted to be a bootstrap business. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We just wanted to make sure that we were building a solid, sustainable business. Um, that wasn't gonna necessarily be, going to the moon or bust. Um, so with that, we basically had to constrain ourselves and just say, hey, this is the number of people that we're going to have, and we're not going to exceed that. And because we were also working remotely, we had a lot more flexibility in how we managed our day. Of course, there's a bunch of people who are, aren't as productive working remotely, but personally, how I find myself working productively is just making sure that I, set aside clear work-life boundaries. That's been really important for me, because it's really easy to get wrapped up as a remote worker
Yep.
by, working way past, 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. And if many people, especially thrown into this situation, don't have distinct areas where they're working and then living out their personal life, and I think over the long run that can really take a toll in terms of burnout. So
Yeah.
I think that's one of the sort of small keys that I try to enforce with myself, is how do I make these psychological barriers a little bit clearer. So I'm still not perfect at it, but I think that's played a big role in maintaining the productivity that I've had.
That's awesome. That's awesome.